Back again. Daggy and Barney are with you. Third show this week. Fuck, I work hard. David.
Work hard for that $0. Love it.
If anyone wants to sponsor us, sportsbeergarden@gmail.com. But anyway, we've got to talk about SuperCoach. We're going to try and keep this to a separate segment each week because obviously it's a bit less mainstream than all rugby league. And we're also going to throw out a few bets in our punting disaster class, which sometimes is a bit less mainstream as well, unless you're looking at sports bet ads. So what's happening, David? What's any tremendous insights in the last 24 hours?
No, there hasn't been a great deal happened in the last 24 hours, has there?
No.
Just been scrolling through the SuperCoach. As you said, it's a bit less mainstream, but there's plenty of fanatics out there, and they love their fill of SuperCoach chats. So we may as well give them a little bit. But
yep, no, fair
first
enough.
few weeks probably won't be as in depth as we get a bit further into the season, and there's some critical decisions to be made. But
no, obviously a quick whip through this week, and maybe a few thoughts on what concerns us or where we're heading. Perhaps in the next, as you like to do, break it into 6 or 8 week blocks over the year. What couple of things to start with. A couple of concerning things for me, at least. We've got a couple of 50-50 players that at least feel 50-50. Your Wade Egans, Tupanuas that have been named. Is there anyone you're a bit nervous about?
definitely nervous about Egan. They look like a pretty bad injury, and I dare say he's at least hyperextended, if not dislocated that elbow when he went down on and his arm sort of turned inside out. So the fact that he's named could mean another, if he gets another mid-range score, the break even goes through the roof going into the third week, and there's some cash there that'll drop out of him. So,
and I'm just looking at the Warriors website now. They've both been named. If he can pass and tackle, he'll play. Is the quote from Webster? Well, that's
Tupanua was one that's probably not going to lose as much cash, but apparently trained well today, so probably a little bit less of a worry. But who knows?
We'll run through before I put it through the spectrum of my own team because nothing beats self-interest, as you know. We want to run through. What do you want to do? Row position by position, or just look at the top?
Yeah, we'll start at the hookers. And have a look at the top 3 scorers and probably the top and bottom of the break-even lists.
Cool. Well, we opened with little 71, very good, and not a bad draw if they're going to play that every week. Cook Robson at 68, 64, Croker 64 as well. Sonny Luke next best 61. In terms of upcoming break evens, if that's where you want to go next, what have we got here? Let's have a look. Break evens. Sonny Luke minus 11. Nothing for Joey Lustig. 2 for Danny Lever, who was very good as well, but he's apparently every second player's second hooker. So they're the big cheapies this week. Little's going to make money as well. What are the hooking ranks looking like? Obviously, Wade Egan, slight concern. Appy's back this week if you're really panicking, but what are you thinking from what you've seen from first week?
Well, obviously the Dragons actually gave Little a bit of a platform to work behind last week, and he looked quite dynamic at different times during that game for the Dragons. With a break even of 19, you would imagine that he eclipses that pretty strongly this week if he's going close to an hour, and that sets him up to make some cash straight off the bat come round 3. Sonny Luke's a bit of an iffy one, whether he continues to play as many minutes or what kind of opportunities he gets with the old mate coming back in, the regular hooker comes back in this week. Kenny, that's the fella.
He played well enough to retain the 14 spot, but we'll see.
Correct.
What happens closer to game day? Whether there's any ducks and drakes again there.
Yeah, Joey Lustig and Levi obviously look like the perfect second choice hookers at the moment, and come round 3 there should be a chunk of cash there.
Well done everyone at playing Joey. I think everyone that did start with Danny Levi. I reckon he's going to be 450 before too long. So you've done well there.
And your highest break evens at this point are Harry Grant with 98, but he was someone that if you bought in round 1, you're probably not going to sell him at any point during the season. So the break even isn't as worrying. Egan now has a break even of 79, and Jeremy Marshall King with 72. Good enough to hit those marks over the next couple of weeks, those players, given full fitness and opportunity. So not a huge worry there. Out of your big mainstream hookers, Damien Cook was probably the one that hit the mark the closest.
Mhm.
Pretty much bang on his break even. Did look quite sharp in the game over there in Vegas, and is now slightly under the break even that he started with at the start of the year. So
I'm eyeing off bringing Cook in just because I've got some cash and I'm nervous about Egan. What scares me is the draw. It is a horrendous,
correct.
horrendous draw. So that's what's giving me pause right now. But he's done it for nearly 10 years and draws haven't bothered him too much in the past.
Well, you could do worse to go back to Appy Coruscant, break even of 56, priced at that point. Yet to play a game, so you could also wait a week and have a look and see how they turn out. But
Yes.
is generally a big part of most of their attacking stuff for the Tigers. So.
And if you have a look at last year's stats, because remember how injured he was for a lot last year between the broken jaw, starting the season slow, he did rack up some high 70s, the handful of games that he did play, and they were in, obviously not always in winning efforts, being a Tigers player. So, and now he's kicking, you could very much do worse.
And yeah, Reece Robson with a 64 now, break even of 46, went 10 points over, or roughly 10 points over his break even this week, and look quite good. And if they continue with that kind of form, should outscore his break even by 20 or 30 for the next few weeks. So some money there as well.
Yep. Front row forwards, we kicked off with Fanua Blake tunning up 103, Flegler 76, Kerr 76, Haas 71, Tino 64. If we're looking at break evens very quickly, -7 Josh Kerr, 11 Liam Henry, 15 Mariota, Sam Hughes 16. So at least you're going to probably make some money on him. He very, very much feels like a trap to me now, having fallen into said trap. Any thoughts on the front row?
Yeah, same here with Mariota for mine. One in this list in that top 10 with low break evens is probably Tyrell May that really stood out in that game for the Roosters.
I
Got
believe
through a
he's the
whole heap
most
of work.
traded player,
Yeah.
or at least or definitely in this position with both Lenio and Arrow going down. He's very much being snapped up.
Scored at well over a point a minute, I'm pretty sure. Did a hell of a lot of work. And there wasn't huge attacking stats to go with a lot of the points that he did score as well. So there's an upside there as well if he does cross for a try or maybe set one up here and there, a couple of line breaks and whatnot. But yeah, he's one that, as you said, probably the biggest pickup this this week. Some of the big names, Tino has now got a break even at 91. Another guy, some of these top guys have got guys that you're not going to be looking to get rid of for the most of the season anyway. Payne has pretty much smack on where he was. The question marks are around, obviously, guys like Jason Tamalolo, who got very limited minutes, pushed out of 16s, now got a break even of 70. So how he fits in there is yet to be known. Paseka looks like he might drop a couple of might drop some cash in a few weeks from now, depending on whether you started with him or not. But front row is a funny one because they generally, once you get through the top sort of 10 or 15, they're all pretty much average. There's a big chunk there that are all in and around the
Yeah,
same sort of average. So,
I'm giving serious thought to just taking someone like Corey Jensen around
yep.
400, and in fact even doing it this week because I now have very, let's just say, grave concerns about. I have too many Titans for my liking, put it that way. And
Fair
you know as
enough.
well as anyone how much I love Mo, but I've also got Bo Firmo to deal with, and I'm thinking of pulling the panic button and just cashing him in for someone quite cheap and just copying a, you might cop 15 points less, but I'll more than make that money up somewhere else.
Yep. No, fair call.
Anyone else? As I mentioned on the review show, Kerr was very good on the weekend in losing effort and big raps from Ben. I can see him playing a bigger part as we go on. Flegler as well. Would you make of those two efforts on the weekend, and do they look like SuperCoach prospects?
They do. Kerr's a funny one because he generally gone. He'll have a big score and then there'll be a 5 or 6 week sort of layoff in between another
Mm.
big score. That obviously past predictions, but did look quite good there. And now with another injury with Lemuelu in that squad, probably gets him some more time. So you would expect him to at least make a little bit of cash that you can move around in your team somewhere. Flagler was fantastic, and is now looks like he is the man in that pack.
Mhm.
He's going to have. He's the young bull that needs to step up and do a bit of leadership in that Dolphins team. Break even at 17, you can't go wrong now. I don't think, especially if you started with him. It looks like an inspired pick now if you started round one with him. But if you don't have him, I'd suggest maybe just leaving it one more week, and because I really don't want to burn any trades round two. Because you picked your team for a reason. I know that a lot of blokes didn't start real well, but apart from injury and suspension, I'd be trying not to make a trade this week.
And I agree too. I'd echo those sentiments. Like I said, I'm jumping a little bit at shadows about what can go wrong because it tends to do so. Second row, always a interesting and contentious position. We have, based off the key stats from round one, Bryce Cartwright, 116, Hamoli Olakawatu, 97, Hosking, 92, Nanai, 86, Fatala Mariner, 86 in terms of break-evens. Minus 17 for Burbo. Again, someone everyone owns, but everyone's going to make a bit of cash, so yay. Fatala Mariner, minus 15, Josh Kerr, minus 7. So if you want to, you're making cash if you're picking him up, even for
really good thing about Burbo, obviously now it looks like he's going to have an extended run for, you would expect, at least 5 or 6 weeks until Schuster's probably be looking at another position in that side, and the dual position, being able to switch in between center and second row. Like if you've had a big money center that you want to just flick straight away, you can drop a whole heap of cash and put that back in somewhere else into your team. We waxed lyrical about how good Fatala Mariner looked on the weekend. If that continues, he'd be the Supercoach stud to start this season, and will jump hundreds of thousands of dollars in the first, 2 months of this competition if he continues that form. Now priced at an average of 36, break even at minus 15. That's massive. McIntyre is a bottom dollar second rower as well. Punched out a 46 for you. I'm not sure if he continues to score like that, but should make a little bit of money. Whether it's worth a trade or not, probably questionable.
I would be dubious.
Yeah. Cartwright was brilliant. Smithies, anyone on the top 8 in this list of bottom dollar or lowest price break evens are massive for people who've had an underperformer or someone who's been injured.
The one I've got my eyes on, still, and we get the good thing about it is we get to see him. We've got a couple of weeks where he's going to change price. Actually, we've got 2 weeks. Is Seyfarth, if he's going to get 60 minutes, I'm quite interested to see how he's going to pan out. And he was my logical one should Tupanua be not available this week.
Well, yeah, he took up a spot in my team last week, sitting on the bench, to be honest, because I just couldn't go past the money. If as expected he gets 60 minutes at an average of 30 odd, he should go well past that, maybe close to double most games. So
and he's a very hard worker. He is in the limited exposure he gets. So hope that pans out. Let's jump.
Again, some of these top break-even guys are guys that you would have picked to start the year, or they're all up around the 700K mark. Waddell might be a bit of an issue if you tried to get it through there with the 500K players. Now got a break-even of 90 or thereabouts. The rest of these guys, you've forked out the 700K. You may as well at least wait one more week and give them another chance and see if they can bring that break-even down a little bit.
Exactly. Should we hump and even lump? We won't hump all of them. Lump 5/8 and halfbacks in together, just because there's not much to talk about, is there? Yeah. On break evens this week, Nico's going to lose money. So if you didn't have him to start with, he's got a break even 164. So, which projected to 170 round 3. Obviously, that's only based off a score of 26. That's going to be very incorrect.
That'd be going off his predicted score this week of 80, I think it is.
Yeah. So Cleary's going to got a break even 143 playing para. Johnson 89, DCE 91, Dylan Brown at 99. They're all break evens for the week.
Again, same deal. If you've paid more than 600K for a player, you're really giving them that second shot before you go and throw them out with the bathwater next week.
Yes.
Round 3, Flanagan looks like the best pickup at the moment. Realistically, at that cheap range of 300K, now has a break even of 3. He's not going to make you a fortune, but he's going to make you enough for a trade down the track somewhere. Where you go to is the question. But
and kudos to Munster Mash, who pointed it out in your cameo appearance there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And other than that, there's not a lot of guys with a low break even that you'd be interested in that we're even really playing, to be honest. Chad or Metcalf, both around the 24, 25 break evens, should make about 100K. Again, enough for a trade 3 weeks down the track. But
Yeah, Metcalf's an interesting one in a world of where we don't know where Cam Munster is and not many other out of the box options.
definitely one I got my eye on.
He once Warriors hit that streak, once they get through his first few weeks, they've got a pretty cozy draw for a long time, and he might blow out a few scores there. So probably one.
And look to take players on as well, one on one, and was able to beat them a few times as well. So on a game where they've really got a roll on, I'd expect him to probably carve a couple of teams up.
And having now seen Fogarty in the flesh, he was one I put out being a chief playmaker for that Canberra team, and kicking that is of interest as well. Could find himself pushing high sixes and higher.
There'll be someone around that 400K mark next week that'll probably blow out and have a massive week, and there'll be a lot of interest going into round 3. Yeah, till we see it, be keeping your powder dry this week.
Centers,
unless you plan on moving 3 of your halves within the next couple of weeks, and you probably got to get rid of one of them this week.
I think I've made my bed and I line it in terms of halves. So
yeah, I think so.
Lockie Galvin named at 6.
Oh yes, 100%.
Base price.
Gives you an extra week as well too.
Again, yeah, you've got, if you want a quick cash grab, you can flick straight him next week and bulk a few spots up. Val Holmes, centres 108, Lomax 108, Manu 106, Labert 103, Tuolangi 101, Garrick 99. Break evens for the week ahead, minus 17 Burbo, as he said. Jacob Gagai, anyone took the base on him is going to make money, which is nice for me.
That's if he keeps playing.
Well, he's playing this week.
Rumours around he's not going to be playing this week.
Oh, really?
But, yeah.
Okay. I hope he.
Rumours that just won one game. One of them was on the plane that they didn't expect to be going.
Okay. Laybut minus 12, Kenner 1, Tuolangi 2. Yeah. Anything really that you're looking for there?
Tuolangi is a good one. Tuapiki's obviously very dependent on how Chan stacks up over the next couple of weeks. Eisenhuth, again, is another guy at around that 350 mark who's playing in the second row, dual position centre. So if you're looking to maybe save a bit of money there, someone you can plug in. The only problem I see there is the possibility within the next couple of weeks of him moving back to being a 20, 30-minute bench player.
Yeah, once they get Luciano.
Once Luciano gets back in the side, and you'd probably find one of either Luciano or Fatala Mariner starts, and then so he might go back to a base of about 30, but he still should make a bit of money after the cash change over there. Lomax looks interesting as hell. I know he's priced extremely high, but a goal-kicking winger, and if he's going to be making 200 running meters every week and busting tackles and putting in that kind of effort week after week, that's huge.
Well, those top ones are all, you know what you get. Yeah, obviously you've probably set and forget by now, but Manu's the same, Garrick's the same. If you've paid the money, you're probably sitting back going, I don't need to think about it for the rest of the year.
Sarko's a worry. If you did shell out the 800K there, I dare say there'll be a lot of people dropping him next week unless he pulls out 100 come this game against St. George on the weekend. Ravalawa the same. Dallon's an interesting one. His base generally is around that 30 to 40 mark. So unless he's scoring a couple of doubles in the next couple of weeks, he's another guy who could be shelling out a fair bit of cash.
Yes.
And Marzu. So there's, that's what 4 of probably the 6 biggest priced guys in the comp.
The good thing is Marzu's still got a fantastic base.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And if he drops
scores a try
anywhere near 100,000K, I'll be buying him the minute it happens.
So break even 96 this week. So yeah, he's looking that way. And Fatape was named for the Tigers. They're saying Olam round 4, so there is a cash grab up for grabs if you really want a base centre.
Okay.
That he hopefully can punch out a couple of 30s and you can flick around and pull 70 grand on him if you really want to. Obviously, I rolled the dice on him a lob round 1 and rolled wrong. So anyway,
yeah, right.
I don't really not particularly interested in burning a trade right now for it. So
Hammer's got a break even of 40. ended up somehow managing 79 points after that disastrous effort last week. So close watch on him this week, I would say, against the Dragons.
Definitely. Fullback last week, a couple of standouts here in the form of Latrell 110, Sloan 103, Garrick 99, Tommy 81, Hammer 79, and then Walsh and Tedesco next best. Break evens minus 15, Gay Guy, who's a dual, 3 Sloan, so he'll be making money. Till Peaky 6. So if he gets another 3 weeks, may be worth a cash splash.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not a lot else of note as I scroll down.
You got to go a fair way down the page before you're looking at the likes of Savage with break even at 26. He'll be making money. I don't know if it'll be enough to justify a trade.
No.
Hammer, as I mentioned, Garrick, goal kicking winger again, who hit 100 and now break even at 40. So should be some money there to be made for him. And Latrell, it looks like he's going to even make money being priced at 800K. So if he can hit 50 for the next 2 weeks, he won't be dropping any cash. So
there's not a lot to discuss here because most people would have 2 guns at
yeah,
fullback.
and I have 2 of the highest break evens in the game. So I need both my fullbacks to score 100 points this week, and they still won't hit their break even. So
We've got a couple of weeks up our sleeve for to see Buller get into the groove. Got a couple of weeks up our sleeve if he didn't have AJ, and just to see what they do with him after the bye. I've got AJ in the centres, but again, Titans have me slightly nervous, but I'm going to keep my powder dry there. Did you
imagine
have?
if you're a Titans fan, how nervous you'd be. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, and that's what's got me nervous. I don't think I can carry. Well, just moving on, I don't think I can carry AJ, Beau Firm, or Mo all in the team at the moment. So I'm looking at flicking,
especially if you're looking at getting Fafita or if he comes back as well.
Yeah, so I'm looking to, like I said, unfortunately, I think Mo might be the one to go for now.
Yep.
But I I might even just wait and see how this week pans out and might flick Beau Firmer if it looks like being a real travesty there. Did you have any epiphanies? Anything you want to touch on?
No, instead of the big money guys, the 2 guys that look the safest at the moment are Tedesco and Latrell. But obviously, let's play out, see how they go after that.
I think Gutho will be fine. He'll get through Penrith this week. And
you would think so. Might be a
nothing.
little bit of a lower score, so he might drop a little bit of cash come round 4. But you would think he'll be after sort of round 5 or 6, they freeze them up a little bit. So
and no buy till they hit.
If you've had him, you're probably going to want to ride him till at least round 8 or 9, and then reassess them.
Definitely. I'm looking. I'm going to have another look this week back at Canberra. I think they've got a pretty comfy draw and no buy till deep into the next couple of months. So if they reproduce what they did last week, I will entertain some of them. I think is the other ones I'll put back on the map. Want to see the Dolphins again, given their changes. Ewan Aitken is always a super coach, steadfast player there. So he's someone we'll get to see a run of from this week before his price changes. And similar to Avarillo and the other guy they've brought back, Jared Wallace. Yep. So I know we've got a week to watch and see on those 3 in particular. Yeah, anything else you want to add on, Supercoach?
No, not particularly. As I said, my advice would be at the moment, unless there's an injury or a suspension that's keeping your players out for an extended period, I'd be trying not to make any trades unless you've had said epiphany that you've been asking about.
No, I've had, you know what I'm like, usually more the pessimism and the optimism I have. So that's good. We've gone 24 and a half minutes to give everyone no advice. So good start to our Supercoach.
Gave a rundown of the better options that most people would be looking at. It's
but once we get in the season, leave some comments below. Leave some questions. Hit us up on Facebook and Threads, and on the comments on YouTube below, and let us know if you have any questions about somewhere you might want to head, or if someone's worth keeping, and we're more than happy to answer them.
Position that worries you?
Exactly. There's plenty of them. Any final thoughts on Supercoach, Barn?
Let's hope that the average is not 900 next week and it gets back up to the 1100s or 1200s and we see a bit more free-flowing football.
I'm happy for
But
the average to be 900 as long as I'm in the 1200s.
yeah, that's true as well.
Good luck, everyone, in terms of that. We've got to get to our punting disaster class. We've got $100 to spend each and every week on however we want on games of rugby league. We'll try and keep it to 3 or 4 bets max each week. But we both have started with minus 100. Is that right?
Correct.
Good stuff. So stick around. This has been a fantastic half hour of information. I missed out. If Gutho had to go across the line, it would have been a very nice start. But we're hovering without striking yet. Do you want to give us your first crack here?
Absolutely. I've gone with a 3-leg head-to-head multi. I thought I'd shorten it up a little bit more and hopefully have the odds a fraction more in my favour. But I've gone a Saturday night head-to-head for all 3 games. I've gone Canberra Cowboys and the Warriors all to win in their head-to-head matches. That'll get you $6.10. I'm going to have $60 on that.
Nice. You want me to go next? Okay.
Oh, I
I'm
can
going to
keep
go the
going if
same.
you like.
No, I'll jump in. I'm going to go the same way, a similar way anyway. I'm going to stick to my head-to-heads because I think there's some value to be had around it. Parramatta plus 7.5 against Penrith. Into
Okay,
Warriors
line,
plus
yeah.
5. Yep, into Lions. Warriors plus 5.5 against Melbourne. And St George, I think, are an incredible price, minus 1.5, and they're even money just in that alone. But if I was to put all 50 on, I'll put $50 on that at $7.60, which would be a return of $380 if my $360.
Andy.
Yeah. So I think that's a reasonable way to start off. Where are you going next?
I'm going to go with an anytime try scorer. Multi is my next game. And I'm going to go with tomorrow night's game. Or might be today's game, depending on when you view this. I'm going to go with both fullbacks to score. So we've got Latrell and Walsh to score. And I'm going to throw Cobbo in for a little bit of value as well. So with those 3 guys combined, you're looking at $16.50 as anytime try scorers. And I'm going to have $20 on that.
Beautiful. I'm going same game. And I raised my concerns around those south edges, so I'm going to attack them. I think Reece Walsh on that sweep play might blow. Is almost a special for a try, I think. So he'll burn one of them throughout that game. And I'll throw Katoni in as well for a try scoring double. That's $5.50, $25 on that. The return collect there is $137.50.
Nice.
I was tempted to go a bit throw another one in, but I just want to get on the board more than anything to start off. So we'll do that. Where to next, my friend?
I'm going to the Dragons game. I thought Sully looked extremely fit and fast last week. Got quite physical with his opposition, and I'm going to go with him as the first try scorer in that game at $15. So put $20 on that.
Beautiful. And I'm going to wrap up Sunday night as well with the Manly Chooks game. And I mentioned the other day, the wingers there, even though it started well last week, Manly, but Talau and Paulo on an edge.
Extreme edges, yeah.
Leaves me thinking Joey Manu's probably going to score another try, showing one of them up or dummying or barging one of them off. So I'm going to throw him in with the cheese as that Manly forward. Those couple of Manly props get a bit tired around halftime. I think Cheese can barge over to score. So the all up there is $11, $25 on that, a return $275. So that's how I'm going to play this weekend.
Very good.
Anything else?
No, mate. That's
Beautiful.
it. We've done 3 shows already.
We have done 3 shows. Check those out. If this is your first one, go back. You can see our game-by-game preview and how we think the weekend's going to pan out. I have a good response to that already. Plenty of comments, so which is good. I'll leave the feedback. We enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And our full review as well is up of the 6 games from this week. We'll be back Monday night to review everything from this weekend and hopefully count a bit of cash and celebrate some massive money-making SuperCoach opportunities. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Barn.
Thank you, mate.
Take care, and we'll talk soon.
Good evening.